3 here coming up in UASL. Trying to mess with my stream in the background between games. But anyway, game number 3. XT is up in the series, I believe. Didn't we determine that? That XT won the first game. So it should be 2-0, I believe, right now for XT. Putting forward a pretty aggressive play last time with a bunch of Phoenixes into a bunch of air. That was the biggest Protoss vs. Protoss air battle I've seen in a long time. Anyway, in the top left-hand corner, we have spawning in for zGt team, who is down 0-2, I believe, right now. Saying good luck, friend. We have Bush in the top left-hand corner. In the bottom right, playing for Team XT Buildings. Seen him play a few times. Generally pretty aggressive. We'll have to see. As the red Zerg down here with the Tarask Ultralisk, I believe, little icon. And we have like a Raiders icon up here for Bush. So pretty awesome. I like the Tarask Ultra, but I think the Hunter Killer is the best one of the new portrait little icons, but who knows. Anyway, on this map, Zerg generally have to play a little bit more defensively, so we'll see how Buildings plays it out. Just because it's so easy for Terran to take a third. Looks like we have a little bit of lag there on Buildings end, which is pretty weird. I don't think we've had any players lag the entire tournament. Stop Buildings. And it actually looks like my stream might be working again. So we'll have to try that after this game. It looks like it wants to be working, at least. And we're going to have to remake that game. All right, let's give it just a second. Already clicked it, players. Already rehosting. Okay. Build order, ref, players set their races. Alright, let's try this again, huh? Game number 3 restarting here. Alright. Ooh, we had a color change. It's the War of Christmas now. Red and green. Alright, so in the top left-hand position, oh my gosh, they've changed positions. It's Buildings in the top left as the green Zerg this time. Much more intimidating. I would put my money on it now. I mean, green aliens. It's really pretty much what XT is all about, right? Bottom right-hand corner, playing for Team Zerg Gosu Team, which is seriously one of the weirdest names for a team I've ever heard of. It is a red Terran, Bush. And the first game did crash out, so if you're watching this from a replay or an upload or something like that, that was my reference of they've changed positions and colors. So, but not really that much had been done. I think it was about the 14 supply. Like there wasn't even a spawning pool versus a hatchery down or anything weird like that. Totally normal builds out of both players. We'll have to see if changing positions dramatically alters their playstyle, but I severely doubt it. But the Terran is probably going to play pretty defensive. There's a pretty big open wall here at the front for Terran players on this map, and it's very easy to take your third base, so playing kind of macro-y as Terran on this map is generally a good idea. There's a lot of maps that favor aggression, though most of them are starting to disappear more and more for Terran players. But I would say Aklon is probably one that is very good for drop play, but also allows you to macro pretty hard. It's a pretty good Terran map versus Zerg overall. That little drone trying to get some good harass on. Not really able to get that much done. It looks like our Zerg player is about to drop his hatchery, so All pretty standard here out of both players so far. Now, we did have the refinery go down pretty quickly, so that means that there's definitely going to be Reaper aggression, scouting, trying to see what it can do. There's not a lot of ways to get into the main with that Reaper, but the expansion, there's a decent amount of harassment possibility, and if you drag him over there, then you can get into the main through hopping up right next to the ramp. So Reaper's pretty decent opening here on this map. Not as good as Star Station or something like that, but still pretty good Reaper map. A little bit of micro there on that SCV actually by Bush. He actually stopped it and then re-clicked it on the supply depot, so it jumped sides while he was building. And of course, there's no guarantee which side it's going to go to. Buildings would really like to get out with that drone. He kind of wants to save it, but it looks like that drone is just going to sadly be stuck here forever. He's not even going to be able to build it in an extractor and be really annoying. And this Reaper is going to deny any more scouting by picking off this drone. But the drone kind of is worth it because he sees the Reaper coming, sees the gas count, sees what's going on. Spawning pool just now finishing, which means Queens are going to be kind of far away from defending against this Reaper, actually. He's not going to really be able to build drones at the natural for a little while. He's definitely going to have to wait for that first Queen to pop out before he starts building there, just because the Reapers would be able to melt him so fast. Lings are now starting to pop out onto the field. First 6 are out now. 2 at the natural, starting to work on that Reaper. The Reaper, of course, can kite lings all day that aren't speedlings. Second Reaper moving up on the field now. First one's starting to heal. No lings have gone down so far. The first one just dies as I say that to spite me. And now the Queen is starting to engage on these Reapers, with these Reapers doing a very nice job of kiting. They're able to get a few more lings right there. It's now down to 1 ling, and this Queen is going to drive them off for now, but just long enough for them to heal, I think, and then they'll probably be back with force. Of course, Terran player following this up with the most standard Terran player ridiculousness ever, and that is I'm going to 2 command center into reactor and factory. So that's what he's working on right now. He'll probably be swapping over after this tech lab is finished, unless he's going for some type of weird marine tank push, which really wouldn't make that much sense off of 2 base and 3 command centers. But these Reapers doing a really good job. One of them's at 6 kills, one of them's at 3. So now 10 kills between them. A lot of those are Zerglings, but it looks like a few drones have gone down to him. So definitely doing a very good job being active with his Reapers. Bush really laying on the hurt there. The worker count, though, is pretty heavily in favor of our Zerg right now. The command centers are going to finish here pretty soon, though, and then that's definitely going to catch up that harvester count for our Terran. And Building sees that the 3rd command center is going down with that Overlord down there in the south part of the base. I don't think he's quite seen... Okay, yeah, he saw the one of the... He knows it's 3 command center at this point. So will he get aggressive, or will he just macro even harder? Looks like he's picking up his 3rd, droning a little bit. Okay, 4 extractors going down. So he's definitely going to go into some type of macro for a little while since he saw that 3rd command center. Knows he's safe from really heavy aggression. The worst thing that can happen is some Reaper Hellion Marine push at this point in the game. He gets a good tag on the Marine count. He did lose his Overlord for it, but he does see that there's a decent amount of Marines still being produced, which could probably lead him to believe that a reactor is still down over here. And yes, there has not been a swap. Blue Flame Hellion Marine push may be coming up. That's true, Armory is almost done, so we'll probably be getting transformation servos. And he's actually timed that pretty well, because the pre-ignition, Infernal pre-igniter, there we go, is going to finish up. And then he should be able to start right into servos if he wants to. But looks like he's just going to go straight into a bunch of Hellbats. He's just going to swap over. And Medvac's starting up here now too. Stim just now starting. So it's probably going to be a little while for that push, but it's going to be... I don't know, the Marines are going to be kind of weak. They're not going to have combat shield. Double engineering bay is going down behind it though. Now the engineering bays and +1/+1 can overlap with combat shield finishing, it looks like. Probably be about the same time. Once Stim finishes, then combat shield finishes. So it might be a 1-1 Stim combat shield timing with some Hellbats. We'll have to see. First Medvac out on the field. More Hellbats still being produced behind this. Hellbats, of course, at their full power since the igniter was researched Reaper sprinting up, trying to see what's going on. Sees that the 4th is going down. Now he's going to head into the main, see what type of defenses are down, which are actually no static defenses at any of the Zerg players' bases. I guess this is what nerfing Hellbats does, right? No more defensive buildings. And these Hellbats lighten up the drones. Ooh, yeah. That's a lot of drone kills, actually, for our Terran player. He's lit up this entire 3rd's mineral line, and they're actually rallied over more drones that are all going to die. Queen's starting to work on that. Whoa, had to be... Oh, wow, that was close. He almost actually lost that medvac. One more little volley from those Queens. If he had not boosted, he would have definitely lost that medvac. And now a bunch of Lings heading across the field, but Lings versus Marines behind buildings plus Hellbats, it's not really the best situation. They do see another drop headed out on the field, though, so that's really important for them. They're going to scout up. See, the 3rd isn't at that location. The 3rd's actually at the closed-in position, which is, you know, very, very standard for a Terran player. No need to expose yourself there. Lings, a few of them down there to make the bunker catch on fire, but looks like that's probably going to get repaired. And the oh-so-rare actual repairing of a medvac is going down for Bush right now. That makes me happy. So many times you'll just see medvacs sit with very low HP for quite a long time. And another drop going down up here in the main. Not really getting that much. A drone, but does force him off the mineral line. He's going to back off for a second, and I wonder if he's going to try and boost back in. Yeah, it's kind of like a, okay, now you're going to be back at your original location. Redrop. Lots of Lings going down, but both the Hellbats do die. They got a lot of Lings, though, and it looks like one more drone there on the very edge of it, maybe. But Bush in a pretty solid position. That's a lot of Hellbats versus a player who is pretty much seen only going Lings. But we do have +1/+1 for ranged here for buildings. He doesn't really have that much of an army. And by not very much, I mean he has 5 Lings. So he's definitely going to start to need to produce roaches. Very, very, very soon. Or Hydras. Okay, yeah, there's some Hydras coming out on the field. So it's Ling Hydra, it looks like right now, which is a pretty interesting composition versus Mass Hellbat Marine. But we'll see how it goes. Baneling's morphing. Got a few Hydras about to pop. This 3rd base is being threatened, though. It looks like it may just go down. Yeah, he's going to have to lose this 3rd base. Fueling's getting roasted. All the drones getting lit up by those. Wow, okay, that was a lot of drones lost, and now the Terran player has taken a lead. He did cut off the reinforcements. Buildings now has the army, I would say trapped, but I'm pretty sure that army can fight its way out pretty easily. And it looks like Buildings may just need to call it here as more and more forces rally across the map here for Bush. And zGt might be picking up their first game this series. Upgrades being canceled out. Buildings calls the GG. And Zerg Gosu Teams Bush takes game number 3. It's starting to bring it back. Hopefully, maybe we'll have a actual best-of-7 series with more than 4 games. This is Lukowski casting for you. We'll be moving into game number 4 here in just a minute. Probably still on the stream, though I'm going to see if I can't get mine back up and running, if there's a little bit of delay between the games. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Enjoy some music between the games.